Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back with our friend, our life coach, Jayne Schwarz. Exciting to have her here. And by the way, it's not just her. We have our friend Ruth, and I'm Jill. So we have a little bit of a ladies' show today happening. I know we have self-love. We have many topics to cover. First, let's start off by introducing someone who lives kind of close to me. I love it. She's a fellow Long Islander. She's a life coach and an amazing soul. Jayne Schwarz, welcome back. How are you?
I'm great, Jill. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. We are live on Zoom as well as on the podcast. And just for new listeners out there, let's just remind them, JayneSchwarzCoaching.com. And please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm a certified professional life coach. And basically anything you want to do for personal growth, I could coach you along. So financial problems, relationship, career, anything you're looking to grow in, I would coach you and help you on your journey to personal growth and overcoming obstacles along the way. And my website is JayneSchwarzCoaching.com.
Great.
JayneSchwarz coaching.com.
Perfect. And who is our friend Ruth here today? Please introduce her. Hello.
Yes, Ruth is someone I know from high school. We weren't really close friends until later in life. I life coached her in some relationships issues, and now she's an expert on self-love and boundaries, and she life coaches me. We life coach each other.
Wow.
So she's an amazing individual. If I never told her this, but when we reunited at a high school reunion, and when she walked in the door, when she was standing in the arch, I remember looking and seeing how she just glowed.
Aww.
She is one of those people that has the energy that just glows and attracts you. She's just a wonderful human being.
Oh, and so she's got TV down. Here. She's got the angle. She's moving the camera, making sure you're centered. She's so good. Ruth, please introduce yourself. And if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what Jayne has helped you with over, the course of the two of you working together, not just as friends, but what has she helped you with specifically? I think it's important for us to know and to get a testimonial in a sense of what you went through. You don't have to be too specific if you don't want, but just make
So I first want to say thank you, Jayne. Like, that was so moving. So yes, Jayne and I instantly were like magnets at our reunion. It was just like our friendship started to blossom. And then, we had a lot of similar things, being single women, being our age, living back in our hometown of Northport. Am I allowed to say that? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there was a lot of things that brought us together. And one of the things about Jayne that is just absolutely incredible, as probably many people will know, is she can listen and bring insight to whatever you're sharing that is from a place that's best for you. Like, she is so clear, and she doesn't have an agenda. So she's doing what's best for you in that moment. And everyone needs someone like that, because I think the world is full of very self-consumed people. And she is absolutely the most present, attentive, giving person, and with your best interest in mind. So she's a great person to know.
Beautifully said. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for being here, for joining us. And I know one of the things she helped you work on is self-love, and that's going to be one of our main topics today. Do you want to get started?
Actually, she helps me with self-love.
Oh, all right. Good.
It's mutual.
What exactly is self-love? Would you mind sharing?
You do.
Well, I read this definition. I always try to come up with a definition that's not my own, and then I tweak it a little. So it says a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. But I like the next point, which is it's a high regard for one's own well-being and happiness, not to be confused with an overinflated self-image.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And self-love motivates us to make healthy choices. So that's what I think I like the second one. It's really having high regard for your own well-being
Yeah.
and your happiness, and doing it in a way that's kind to others, but also being kind to yourself. So I don't, for me, self-love is being kind to others.
Mhm.
So that kind of reflects in mine. What would you say?
I would
self-love?
just add the word inclusive. So exactly what you're saying, that you're always operating from a place of love and kindness with, and I would throw gratitude in there, but that emanates to other people, not just yourself. Because I think when we're giving to others and being present for other people, that's a form of self-love.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Beautifully said. All right.
Yeah.
So you can give us and guide us with some steps and techniques to loving yourself, because it's not easy for some people. We've been scarred, we've been hurt, and a lot of us, and tend to put ourselves last. And I told you before, I have a 5 and 7-year-old, and it's like, I love them. I do everything for them. Wait, what about me? I'm the one taking care of them. And I'm sure a lot of mothers go through this. It's like, you got to take care of yourself and put that oxygen mask on first, like on the airplane, right? Because you have to be the one to take care of everyone, but you got to love yourself. And sometimes that's a very hard concept, right? Because, I mean, let's go over some of the things we can do to start practicing self-love. I know mindfulness is one of those things on the top of your list.
Yeah, we talk a lot about mindfulness, and I think it all comes down to mindfulness, because if you're not mindful, then you're not going to consciously be kind to yourself and be grateful and do all the things that can help with self-love, right?
Yeah.
And you're asking for like practical steps to apply. So we can all talk about this. We can all read about self-love. There's tons and tons of literature out there, but it's all about making choices and actions, like actually putting into practice. And I can only speak from me, like my own experiences, but as in the last few years, I've just always started my day with a quiet time. I don't jump into the day and my list and what everybody else needs. I definitely carve out some time where it begins with me, and
You time. Yep.
it might be like people might call it meditation, people might call it prayer. It's just a very quiet time to go inward and be with yourself. It's almost like I love to exercise in the morning. There's the self-love too, but it's about setting the day in a good motion.
Got it. And what did you want to add, Jayne?
Oh, I was just going to say, and she has 2 kids too, Jill. They're older, but
Okay.
so she can relate to how busy you must be.
And thinking of them first. It's tough. Yeah.
Yep, sure is. Not knowing what day and how you can get dressed to get ready. It's a struggle, but we all have our struggles. And it's okay. We'll get through them. And we do have to remember though to practice all this stuff, because you say acting based on need, not want, being kind, gentle, patient, compassionate to yourself. And this is a hard one. Stop comparing yourself to others, right? Don't we do that?
Right.
My friend's this, my friend's that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that with my weight a lot too. And one of the things on here is not to have your body image be who you are, at your value. Your value is not in your body image. And I know a lot of women have that problem. I definitely have that problem.
Well, society puts that on us.
Yes. Another one on here is don't give in to society's expectations.
Is there a guest?
Yeah.
Do we have another surprise guest coming today?
You know what my favorite one is though, Jill?
What?
Tighten your circle.
Yeah. Tighten
your circle is my favorite one. I wanted to talk about that one because we all have people that are in our circle automatically. They may not provide the support we need. So sometimes we have to go out and create our support circle. And that is one thing that I have done so well. I have such a good support circle of people that are so into personal growth, that it keeps me going when times are tough. I wanted to add, be kind, gentle, patient, and compassionate to yourself. But, I want to add to that, but holding yourself accountable.
Accountable. That's something, we don't do so often, do we? Yeah, it's hard. Accountability. Let's go, girls. Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think I'll put that in. Can we add balance? So we have to have a day where we're responsible and accountable for certain things and have priority lists. But then you've got to build in fun and enjoyment and relaxation, because that at the end of the day, having that fullness in every aspect of our life, that makes us feel complete. For sure.
Isn't she so good?
She is. And so, Ruth, I know you guys are coaching each other in a sense, but are you also a life coach? I mean, anyone could be a life coach. It's true with your experiences and all, but
absolutely not. I am not a life coach.
May I ask what you do?
I'm a good friend.
Okay.
She's
the adventurer.
Yeah.
Ask her about some of her adventures.
What do you do? Do you travel a lot now?
I just retired.
Congratulations. May I ask what you were doing?
3rd. I was a teacher. I was a reading specialist in an elementary school on Long Island.
Great.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You had your summers off, but now you're traveling even more?
Oh, yeah. I left for 10 days to sail the coast of Florida. And I packed one little bag, because on a boat, you're not allowed wheels and all that stuff, no blow dryer, nothing. And 70 days later, I came home.
Did you say 70?
70, 10 weeks later.
Wow. Wait. Whoa. I thought it was
turned to 10 weeks.
Wait, so a 10-day trip turned into
10 weeks.
Amazing. Can I
talk
ask
about self-love?
What happened?
She is an adventurer. I'm telling you.
Did you meet someone?
Someone's.
Okay, good. So you really had a good time. Good.
Yes, but it also is like, there were just so many beautiful opportunities that popped up, and I just would say yes instead of no. When friends found out I was in Florida and they invited me to stay with them, I said yes. And, then I had the opportunity to go to the Bahamas, and that week turned into 16 days. So it's about, for me, it's about choices and actions.
Yeah.
Take time. Yeah.
Love it.
It was great. Yeah. It's kind of weird to be back. I'm only back like 2 days, I think. Yeah.
Are you going to move down there now? Is there like a big change that you're seeing, that you're feeling, or?
When I didn't go with this intention, but I did see a lot of South Florida, a tremendous amount. And then I was also in the Bahamas, and myself personally, I find like, I like all that nature and the really, really super kind people. And those people are in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Beautiful souls. Wow. Yeah. Are you going to go on any adventures with her soon?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We already have a beach house that we're getting for a week in Mattatuck.
Oh, beautiful.
Actually, Greenport.
We also have a beach house in Greenport that we're going to even sooner, in April. So we like the beach.
I see. Good. And I like the vineyards over there too. I don't know if you ladies like wine, but
and the farm stands with all the fresh food.
Country living.
Are you living on Long Island, Jill?
No, I live in Holtzville. I don't care. Tell everyone. Yeah, I'm in Suffolk County, so a little further east than you guys in Northport. So, yeah, I'm born and raised. So I lived in the city, lived in Queens, but I grew up out here. And then my mom was sick a few years ago with cancer. I came back out here with my kids and never left. So they're going like the same schools that I went to, and yeah. But I like more of the country lifestyle. anyway. The
Mhm.
city's too hectic and chaotic and not, I just didn't want to raise my kids there. But yeah, I'm very grateful. I love it out here in the summer, but I wish it was more full of sunshine. We went to Florida in January and it's just like, I don't know, something about that sunshine. It just,
Yes.
can you
It's
handle
it
it though? 365 a day? Is it being New Yorkers? Can we? I don't know. I
just
know,
lots of sunscreen, girl. That's all you need.
I know a lot of people have moved down there and it just makes them feel so much
Where
better.
where in Florida did you go?
We went to Orlando. Well, we we're supposed to go on a cruise. It got canceled because my little guy had COVID, but his PCR said positive. The antigen said negative, but it was too late. Doesn't matter. So we
Oh.
couldn't go. So we still went to Florida. We went to Orlando. We drove to Miami. And then we did like Legoland, we did Disney, and in Miami it was just it was January. So it was a little bit even chilly. It was like
Uh-huh.
60s, 70s, but it was just looking up at that sun makes you so
It
happy.
is,
It
it
makes you
is.
want to love yourself and just
I
get out and
know.
do things.
But I
Yes.
do have to say that I tried this winter to appreciate it. I was going to say, I like the change of seasons because I love having spring fever and, and the clothes in the fall, right? And I really didn't like winter, but I tried to appreciate it and I really appreciated it.
Good.
If you try, like if you change your mindset and
Yeah.
just like,
Yep.
and I don't know, but there is definitely something about aqua blue water and 80 degrees that
Yeah.
beats everything.
But like
Yeah.
you said, you saw the beautiful snow on your dock.
Oh,
And
that
Right.
was so
yeah.
nice too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right. The snow. It's what I'm saying. I hate one thing about New Yorkers, all of a sudden it gets cold and everyone starts complaining. And if it's snowing, it's like this, oh my God, I can't drive. I can't. I'm like, relax, appreciate it. Because if we're going to be cold and have a winter, let's make it beautiful. And it's just so magical, the snow. And I want more snow. And when it happens, I so appreciate it. I love it. But people get so angry. And I'm like, why? It's so
Yeah,
pretty.
that's
Right.
great.
Isn't that
That's
strange that people do that? Hey, you've lived here, you know this happens. Just embrace it. Like,
And then 2 more months from now, the same naysayers are like, oh, it's too hot.
great.
Like, are you ever happy? Look within, start loving yourself
that's so
and
funny.
can go
I
out.
think people just like to complain.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
not
kills,
good.
if we're talking about self-love, I think that kills
Energy and
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's so important to be like going back to your word
Mhm.
mindfulness, going back to being mindful of our own thoughts and
Yeah.
how our thoughts control how we feel and experience the world.
Yeah. And let's talk about gratitude. You mentioned that on your list here, being grateful, being thankful each and every day. Any tips on gratitude, what we can do every day?
Well, I did end last week's podcast with that little tidbit of if we just say thank you more, right? Thank you to each other. Thank you to ourselves. Thank you to the universe. We'll notice more good things happening in our life. And then our attitude changes. So being grateful is one of the easiest things I think we can do.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Mhm. And that I love this saying that everything is a gift. Even when we are challenged with something that we're like, wait, why is this happening? This is not what I want, for yourself. If you breathe through it and sit with it or move, just let it go for a little while. I think for myself, when I look back, I always can see the gift in it every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's great.
Yeah.
That it is true. If you look at it like that, right?
Yeah.
And that adds to one of the points that I said is learn continuously, right?
Yeah.
Because I keep emphasizing that it's a journey and that if you're happy in the moment, because the moment is beautiful. It's beautiful in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that for every moment, then and you make the best choices and actions in that moment, then your future will be set. And there's no reason to worry. And you just have a much better outlook on the world and life.
Yeah.
And being patient helps. A lot of us, even driving in the car, little things. I mean, come on, go to the grocery store. And we all experience it. We get frustrated. Someone's driving too slow or someone's not. And we're so quick to, rush to beeping the horn or just getting, "Hey, what do you, we got to overcome that and be a little more patient with people in life and let, the small things kind of go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
You have less stress in your life and in your body, and you're overall healthier that way. Stress is not good.
Yeah.
I agree for sure. What other things did you want to share, Jayne? I mean, there's a multitude of things here on this sheet about things we could be doing. My goodness, following your passion, being more intentional, connect with people, forgiving yourself.
Yeah, all of those things. I like a couple of them. I like see along the lines of what Ruth was saying, see the beauty in the simple things, right? Allow ourselves to make mistakes. That's a big one. I think a lot of people have a perfectionist attitude and they expect themselves to be perfect. And when they make a mistake, it rattles them and it really, messes with them.
Because isn't perfectionism, I'm guessing, correlated to comparison? You don't want to, it has to do with how you're perceived. Right. And how other people might look at you and judge you. So that drives the perfectionism.
Right. They're all connected in some way. Right. So stop comparing yourself to others and you'll appreciate the simple things.
Yeah.
They're all kind of connected. Right.
Yeah.
And it's about getting the journey rolling in your life. And it just flows, right, Ruth?
Yeah.
I mean, the journey, it's about the journey. It's about learning and taking everything and making it work for you and adjusting, right? We do have to adjust to things.
Yep. We sure do.
And I always say, we want to respond, not react.
That's a big one. And that goes with what Jill said with being patient. Because when you practice patience, you can respond instead of react. You give yourself a little time in between. So true.
Aw, ladies, you're so cute. Well, I mean, you said keep your circle close. How, keep only a few friends and family members around. Is that true?
Well, I think for me personally, I have levels of relationships, right? My closest inner circle is a good number of people, but it's small compared to, I think, my past where I had lots of superficial friends.
Yeah.
And now I have a really close inner circle. And then I have other people that I'm close to, but maybe not as close to. And, so it's kind of like levels like that. But you keep your inner circle close, you keep in touch and you keep, you not you use them, but you use each other, right? You share each other's journey and it just helps you to grow and stay on the journey. And
true.
And with that inner circle, you can be more vulnerable. Oh, you can be more vulnerable. Right. Yeah.
Talk about vulnerability. We never talked about that, Jill.
That's in another week.
Good.
That's a whole nother week.
Yeah, but what's that book?
Oh, are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Brene Brown.
Brene Brown's, what's the name of it?
Oh, she has a whole bunch of books
What's
on
the
vulnerability.
one? What's I think it's just
I can't remember.
vulnerability or whatever, but she has a good one on vulnerability. Yeah. But that, Ruth brought that up, reading and listening to podcasts and listening to books and talking to your inner circle and, having a therapist or a life coach are all ways to get on that journey and stay on it.
I know, my goodness. And then there's also forgiveness. A lot of us don't forgive those in our lives, and it kind of weighs down on us with a negative energy. And the importance of forgiving people, I think kindness goes a long way.
I think forgiveness starts with acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very hard to do. We don't always like to accept people for the way they are. We want them to be the way we want them to be.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think forgiveness starts with acceptance, and then you forgive yourself for having the feelings that you have, because often we feel guilty for having the feelings that we have. So you forgive yourself, and then you can forgive someone else.
Yeah. Very true.
I agree.
All right, ladies, we're almost out of time. So in closing, let's sum it up. And what else do you want to share? And then we'll figure out, of course, how we can contact you and reach out to you for a session.
Well, I'd love to hear Ruth say how she feels self-love has affected her life.
Great.
Ooh, put me on the spot, girl.
I'll tell you how it affected my life.
Okay, good.
It has made me so peaceful and able to accept my thoughts and feelings. And I have a way to go, though, because I was talking to Ruth about this earlier. I reward myself, but I reward myself with bad things, like eating something bad, or having a cigarette, or
Going to sleep late.
have, whatever it is. And I have a ways to go. I'm eating healthy. Some of the things on this list are eating healthy, being realistic, being active, all those things I'm working on. But that has helped me to really focus my energy in a positive direction. What can you add to self-love? How it's affected you?
How it's affected me? Well, I think it grows over time. And I think the more I don't think about it and I put it into action, it's I'm all about action. There's so much talk and so much there's only so much you can read and take in. But when you actually do what it is that moves you and talks for you, like, everyone's so different. So if you just, for me, it's acknowledging what really floats my boat. Like, it was amazing amount of freedom I discovered. So I think that's a form of self-love, to literally have a bag and a backpack and live for 70 days. Like, I have a whole home with 2 full closets.
Do you really need it? Do we really need it? Exactly.
Life got so simple.
It is so much better. And I apologize, ladies, we have to go.
Okay.
Jayne Schwarz Coaching. That's JayneSchwarz.
Yep.
Coaching.com. Reach out to her for a consultation. And do you want to give a phone number quick too?
Yep. 631-479-2983.
Great. Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you
Nice
so much,
meeting you,
Jayne.
Jill.
Thanks,
You too.
Jill.
Have a great day, ladies. Enjoy the beautiful sunshine today out on the island.
Yeah.
Are you
Thank
feeling
you.
stuck?
Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.